Hi guys, Ranger Stu here and welcome to Ranger Stu's Virtual Zoo. It's week 8 and this week we are learning all about endangered species. Now, it's not all the big animals like elephants and rhinos and tigers that are also endangered, but smaller animals as well, such as this tortoise here. And this tortoise, as you can see, is very flat. Its name is a pancake tortoise. And pancake tortoises are actually endangered in the wild. We're very lucky, we have 2 pancake tortoises here. This one here is called Nancy, and she has a male called Sid, and they've actually bred quite a number of times. We actually have an egg in the incubator at the moment. So we're going to find out more about Sid and Nancy and a couple of other animals that are endangered at the zoo. See you in a mo. This is the IUCN conservation status, which tells us how endangered each species is. From least concern, which means the species is safe and found in high numbers, to extinct, which means that there is no doubt that all animals of that species are gone. None are left anywhere on Earth. To explain this better, we have 4 species from Cedars Nature Centre from 4 different conservation categories. We are about to meet eastern spiny mice, and eastern spiny mice are least concern. This means that there are plenty of them found in the wild and they are certainly not endangered. Eastern spiny mice are one of my favourite rodents that we keep here at Cedars Nature Centre, so we're going to move on to a species that is near threatened. One other species that we have here is the free-banded armadillo. There you go, how cute's that, hey? And the species that we keep is near threatened, which means they are close to being vulnerable with extinction. However, there are 2 species of free-banded armadillo. The Brazilian free-banded armadillo, which is actually endangered in the wild, and the southern free-banded armadillo, which is the species of armadillo that we keep here. So, as I just said, near threatened means that they have lots of threats in the wild and are likely to become vulnerable in the future. It is the next step down from least concern. The other species of free-banded armadillo, the Brazilian free-banded armadillo, is the next step down on the scale. They are vulnerable, and there are currently no Brazilian free-banded armadillos in UK zoos, only southern. Threats to free-banded armadillos are sadly all from humans. They are taken from the wild as pets. They are hunted for their shells, which sadly are made into musical instruments, and their habitats are being destroyed for farming. Thankfully, they seem to be breeding well in captivity, and we have actually had 14 baby armadillos born over the years. How cool is that? So the animals behind me are chinchillas, and believe it or not, chinchillas are actually endangered in the wild. Despite them being found in lots of zoos and pet shops and farms, sadly they are hunted for their fur. So we are going to get a bit of an up-close view for you and tell you a bit more about them. As I just said, chinchillas are endangered, which means they have a very high risk of extinction in the wild, and they are only 2 steps away from extinction. Sadly, the main threat to chinchillas is the fur trade, and despite fur farms breeding millions and millions of chinchillas each year, they are still hunted in the wild for their fur. If you ask me, I prefer the fur still on the animal, and not as a fancy hat. Pancake tortoises are actually critically endangered, and this means that they are 1 step away from extinction. They are an extremely high risk of vanishing from this earth. It may be that one day pancake tortoises are only found in captivity and none are found in the wild. So we have put Nancy back in the enclosure with Sid, and you'll see that their enclosure has lots of rocks and cork bark and things to climb upon. There he is, good old Sid. And this is because in the wild they live in a special habitat called kopjes. And threats to pancake tortoises are mainly habitat loss. The kopjes which they are found on are being destroyed so that houses can be built on them. Sadly, they are also still being taken out of the wild for the pet trade. And because they only lay one egg at a time, it can take them a very long time to rebuild their population in an area once they have been removed. But thankfully, there is a European breeding program with them, and they are being bred very well in captivity. We actually breed our pair quite regularly, and we even have an egg in the incubator right now. So I hope you all enjoyed learning about all of the endangered species that we keep here at Cedars Nature Centre, and perhaps some endangered species in the wild as well. Next week we have a bit of an unusual topic. It's sort of in the opposite direction. We are going to be talking all about farm animals. So I will see you on YouTube this time next week. And so it's goodbye from me, goodbye from Nancy, the Pancake Tortoise, and all the other animals here. Take care, stay safe, see you soon.